the chat. Got it.
Got it.
Copy streaming link. Yeah, if you go up to where it says live on YouTube, you copy streaming link, you should be able to get it. So cool. All right, I'm posting it on Twitter right now.
I'll post it on Facebook.
Yep, sounds perfect.
The camera's right where I have to see to type, which is kind of funny.
All right. It is posted on Badoo. Got it. Yeah. Okay. I'm gonna dump it on Discord also. Just for completeness. And we're live.
Woo!
Cool. How you doing, man?
I'm doing very well. Welcome, Josh. Welcome, travelers.
Good. I know, yeah. There was no travelers yet, but hopefully, we'll see. We'll see if we get anybody to pop in here tonight.
Yeah,
that'll
be
It's
nice.
like a tech test. That's the first time we've ever done this.
Yeah.
I wonder if I can record this at the same time. Actually, I can extract the audio from YouTube later. I think so.
Yeah.
There we go. Who's
the
watching?
answer is
Someone
yes
else is watching now. The answer is which question?
Yes, you can record. That'll actually work.
Yeah, no, I know. I don't want to like overburden. Like right now, my poor computer is like, what am I doing? And so I want to be careful of overburdening. No, but we just wanted to take some time tonight to sit back and do a live thing. We haven't done anything live yet, and we wanted to sit back and celebrate what has already been an awesome 2021 at Tabletop Journeys. I mean, that's no way really to go ahead and slice it other than that. So
yeah,
we just today with the release of side quest number 38 about What If, the MCU product What If, we hit 5,000 listens for this year, which we'd set as kind of like an unofficial goal for us internally. Figure if we could get up to 15 listens a day and 50 or so listens per episode, that we'd be able to cross 5,000 listens for the year. And damn if we didn't hit it almost 2 months early, my friend. So kudos to the hustle.
Well,
right?
I gotta say, kudos to the hustle is a great way to phrase it, because there's a lot of work that went in. I mean, this is it's a labor of love, but there's a lot of labor that goes into it.
There's a lot of labor.
I mean, we have worked very hard to be responsive to our listeners, to grow this community, to work with other folks, and give our send-ups where the send-ups are due to the people that have really helped us out, given us good lessons. All the folks that have given us guest spots on their podcasts, and all the folks that have done guest spots on our podcast. Our early advertisers and sponsors, our friends of the show. I mean, not to say that this isn't possible without those of you who are out there watching us and listening to us day to day, week to week. Seems cliche, but wow, is it accurate?
Yeah.
I mean,
it's a massive understatement.
Just very accurate.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, all the way from Mr. Dave, who our first show sponsor, to go ahead and come on and help us even get jump started and help us get to even where we are now. And the myriad of people who have had us on their show and who have come on our show. I know I'm gonna miss people, but like Danilo from
Danilo.
Thinking Critically, Zugai from Nerdy People Talk or Nerdy People Play, Mike from 19 Hits the Dragon, Steve from Dads with Nerdy
and
Ambitions,
our favorite ladies of Marvel, the Marvelous
the
Madams.
Marvelous
You
Madams.
know,
Yep,
and this is just
yep,
scratching the surface. We've really had the
yep,
opportunity to interview some great people, to work with some awesome
yep,
people. Uh, just our actual plays, just the stuff we've recorded in the last couple
yep,
of weeks that hasn't even had a chance to come
yeah.
out yet. I am so excited. Like, I
Oh man,
cannot wait for Halloween
yep,
weekend and this collaboration we have with Mike from 19 Hits a
oh
Dragon and Steve
yeah,
from Dads with Nerdy Ambitions, because that
yeah.
particular collaboration is really as close to the pinnacle of what we've done this year as I can imagine. Like, I was
I
stymied at
yeah.
how cool that was to be a part of.
Yeah, totally. I mean, I can say that I, for one, definitely want to do more of that. I want to specifically with those with those cats, man, because I mean, so if you haven't heard yet, and so this is going to be put out as an episode, so don't worry if you're not watching live right now. But if you haven't heard yet, coming out on Halloween weekend, we have got a horror actual play mini series featuring all three podcasts, us here at Tabletop Journeys, Dads with Nerdy Ambitions, 19 Hits the Dragon. It's going to be a miniseries broadcast on all three podcasts, and it's going to be an actual play miniseries of a module from the Aliens RPG put out by Free League Publishing in Sweden. It's an actual play of their module Chariots of the Gods or Chariot of the Gods, and man, listening. So I've got the good fortune of doing the editing on this, and man, it's some good stuff, man. We, for one, we all had a ton of fun, and I was able to kind of get them to go along with me when I like they're all sitting in their own little rooms. We're all doing it remotely, and they're all like shutting off their lights and opening their windows, so it's cold and it's dark, and I'm playing creepy music, and Lewanika hasn't slept in 3 weeks because I mean it's been amazing. So
Yeah,
that's it was just such a good time, and I'm just so grateful that they all went with me. And the audio that I've got worked through so far on that is chef's kiss. It's fantastic. So
you know, in this actual play, and I will say it's also in our actual play for our special project that we're not
mhm.
naming specifically yet, which also includes Mike from 19 Hits the Dragon. Uh,
Yep.
the role play was so amazing,
Oh,
intense
so
at
good.
times, but we talk on this show about handoffs and that improv, um, yes, and I'm telling you, especially in that other one, and even in this Alien actual play,
Hmm.
we did amazing work with handing off,
Yeah.
like just stories
Yep.
that flowed from one player to the next player to the next player.
Yep.
We did a great job of incorporating in the aliens the things that you talk about on the show, collaborative world building, great
Yep.
examples
Yep.
within the alien framework. Um, and it's just brilliant. But that's not the only place. It's not the only actual plays we're doing. We do actual plays with our Patreons. We are
Yeah.
airing those on a regular basis. If you're a subscriber, if you're listening, you already know this. But
Yeah.
for those who may be happening by or catching this for the first time, go to our website.
Yeah.
We have playlists. Field Trips is the playlist of all of our actual plays. Start at the beginning and work it through. Um, whether you do it in the big 3 hour, 4 hour one drop episode or the individual hours where you get those nice breaks in between and the
Yep.
cliffhangers, you're going to enjoy it.
Yep.
I started this podcast having not listened to a lot of actual plays. I
Yeah.
have
Same
since
here.
been listening to a lot more because I want to help be a part of something that adds to. Not that anything out there is bad per se, but I want to add to the discussion. I want to
Yep.
elevate the level. We talk about elevate your game.
Yep.
That's a tagline from some other friends of the show. But
Yep.
it's something that we truly hold dear. We
Yeah.
don't want to do a thing and have it be blah. We want to do a
Right.
thing and have it be wow. And we
Yeah.
want to make every role legendary.
Yeah. I mean, we had that. I like the branding on that, by the way. That was very well placed. Nicely done.
I
But
try.
we were very, very lucky that right around the time that we had a stable of Patreons to work with and had, the show was gaining some momentum and everything. And we were kind of looking for what that next thing was going to be. And then the Candlekeep Mysteries came out and it was like, wait a minute, you know what? We have a unique opportunity here. There's a brand new campaign, not even campaign module. There's a brand new set of adventures coming out. Let's go ahead and start playing these with our Patreons. Let's start offering this to Patreon benefit. Let's see what comes out of it. And I do love sort of how the conceit was that, we weren't going to run a campaign. It was going to be, we're just going to run the individual modules, quest by quest, series of one shots, not a campaign. And we were joking about this earlier today that lasted about 5 minutes into the first episode, because immediately I started, just by nature, I started wrapping stuff around in a campaign. So, it is what it is, right? Storytellers got to storytell, right?
Yeah, we build worlds. That's what Tabletop Journeys as storytellers, that's what we do.
Yep.
We've been doing it since we did Vampire the Masquerade LARP. By the way, good news on that coming a little bit later.
Mm-hmm.
We'll probably touch on it just
Very
briefly
exciting note.
in this live broadcast. But when Josh and I first met, we started with that. We were big on building worlds. Even Glenn, who was not able to join us tonight because this was very last minute, we didn't realize we were going to hit the threshold. And when we did, with very little preparation, we jumped right on and said, let's do the daggum thing. So I can tell you that is something that Glenn has done. Glenn and I have known each other since we were 13 or so. And if there's one thing Glenn does, he builds himself a great game world, a great campaign world, the kinds of worlds that not only are the campaigns that he's running work in, but any storyteller can say, ooh, I could build a campaign here. I want to build a campaign world here. And that's just a hallmark of what we do. When Josh talks about the campaign worlds for his ongoing games, I'm thinking, ooh, I like that. I love that. I could do something in there. I would do this, and I could do this other side campaign for that. My Land of 18 Seas campaigns, I'm running 2 campaigns in this world, and I am constantly inundated with great ideas for, I could do a one-shot over here. Mm-hmm. I could start up another level 1 campaign over there. That would be a great level 6 campaign over there. Yep. That type of thing. And that's what we do. That's what we love to do. And more than we love to do that, we love talking about it with other people. Absolutely. So other people can join in and start doing some of those same things.
Yeah, absolutely. So let's go ahead and dive into so there were a couple of things that we wanted to actually talk about tonight. And again, we've been doing this more and more. We've been pushing these kind of things out to our Patreon subscribers, where, Leonika and I just kind of sit down and shoot the crap for 15 minutes and talk about some news that has come out on the in the TTRPG community and stuff like that. And so there were 2 things I think really that we wanted to touch on. And the first one is, man, how excited we were. What day did we record? What today's Tuesday, so it must have been Sunday that we recorded the episode that will come out this coming week about the new Unearthed Arcana article that just came out, the lineages of the multiverse, right?
Oh yeah.
And so I mean, I'm doing the editing on that episode, and I actually make the statement on Sunday because we knew that Wizards was announcing a book today, and I made the statement about how I'm going to take the 2 of the Multiverse Unearthed Arcana article and the 2 of a new book announcement on Tuesday, and I'm going to call it right here on Sunday, Spelljammer book in March of 2022. Yeah, I'm wrong. I am wrong. Totally wrong. Still a great book announcement coming though. So what instead is coming on Tuesday, in March of 2022, the latest Critical Role campaign module, from the Netherdeep. Is that the
Netherdeep?
The working team.
Yeah.
So please, dunk on me for how wrong I was here, first of all.
I want to dunk on you. I really do.
Yeah.
There are a few simple pleasures I have in life more than saying, Josh, you're wrong. And I told you so.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to settle with at least 2 or 3 I told you so's today.
Yeah.
But
This
I'm
ain't
not
one of
gonna
them.
I'm not gonna dunk on you on this because I was all in. You
Yeah.
weren't saying
Yeah.
the only thing you did when we recorded and you said that was beat me to the punch.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I'm right with you. That's the book I thought. To
Yep.
some extent, that's still the book I wanted. But if they take an extra 3-4 months to get it
Yep.
right, finalize the play testing, have
Yeah.
time to get and utilize the UA feedback. By the way, fill out your surveys as soon as they're available. That stuff counts.
Yep.
So
Just like
be
what
it.
happened to the
I
Feywild
mean,
book.
yeah, so be
Yeah.
it. If they get it right, it's worth
Yeah.
the wait. And that's the one thing I can say when Wizards takes their time and get something right, Tasha's.
Yeah. Here's what I can say about that. Yeah. Here's what I can say about that is
And
that
so far, the Feywild Witchlight, if they
Yeah.
take the time to get it right, Candlekeep, then it's really, really, really good.
Yeah.
And even to the problems that we may have with it, they're quibbles compared to the overall good.
Yeah. Here's what I can say about the Spelljammer book is that what I didn't know on Sunday, and I do know now, is that there is a Spelljammer book. There is Spelljammer content in playtest right now. Whether or not, like, how that's going to be packaged is up for some debate. And there's some question about whether or not it's going to be Spelljammer or another space-based setting from the original D&D. The name is now escaping me. It's not Spelljammer though. There's another one.
It's
Yeah.
Stellar something. Oh, if you're out there and you're watching us, help me out here.
Please help us out. Yeah.
Gamma World, is that it? No,
it wasn't Gamma World.
but I know what you're talking about because the Haddazee was not in Spelljammers. It was in that game.
Exactly.
And I remember thinking that when we were looking at it, and I didn't. So maybe they're combining the two, taking the best of both worlds and putting them into one game.
That's the speculation. That's the speculation. It was something else. Adventures in Space. No, Spelljammer was Adventures in Space, and then both of us are like frantically web searching.
I'm web searching.
Oh, come on. What was it?
80s.
Wasn't Planescape.
No.
Wasn't Dragonlance.
Star Frontiers.
Star Frontiers. Thank you. Yes. So the question,
and that's the one that definitely had the Haddazee right on the front, right on the front page.
Yep. So the question is whether or not it's going to be Spelljammer or it's going to be Space. What was it?
Space Frontiers.
Space Frontiers.
Or I'm sorry, Star Frontiers.
Star Frontiers. Okay, Stars. See, we did this on the episode too. Remember this where you kept calling it Starjammer instead of Spelljammer? Like there's so much we have
because I was mixing that up. That's where that came from.
Oh, so
I wasn't wrong. I was really just blending the two. That's the story we're sticking to.
You heard it here first, folks. That's right.
So a rogue's gonna rogue, and lest he be caught out having an error, he's going to make it like it was on purpose. And I was blending the two because I'm suave like that.
Yeah.
No, so it was a flat mistake, but anyway, that's what it was. Star Frontiers and Spelljammer.
Spelljammer. And so I'll have to go ahead and say that we don't know what the wrapping on it is going to be, but that D&D 5 space-based content is coming, and it's probably going to be next summer, I suspect. It'll probably be the summer book, because that seems like a summer thing. But who knows? It's not the March book, but so all that aside, so we know that Spelljammer is coming, but the book in front of us, From the Netherdeep, what do we know about From the Netherdeep? Do you know anything about it?
I do not, and I got to tell you something that a good friend of the show has been telling me for a while is I got to get up to speed on Critical Role. I have said for quite a while that I have not watched a lot of Critical Role. I think I watched one of the early episodes, a single episode, and I have watched all of the Handbooker Helpers. Actually, when I started playing D&D 5e, The Critical Role team, their Hamburger Helper, is what really helped me learn the game. I
Sure,
had
yeah.
a real short time to get good at the game. I played Adventure League a little bit, but my group of gamers wanted me to run. I had been running a Rifts campaign for several years, and we were changing over to D&D. We had a D&D DM on one game that he had been running. We went through Dragon uh, Dragon Horde, Waterdeep Horde of the Dragon, or
Yep,
whatever that title was.
yep.
Had a lot of fun with it, but then uh, uh, Dungeon of the Mad Mage had kind of fell through for the
Yep.
group, and they're like, "Well, what are you going to do?" And I'm like, well, "I've been working on this homebrew world, but I don't know if I'm quite ready. It's probably going to be another 6 months before I'm ready to go." And they're like, "No, we want to play." So I had about a month and a half. It was actually a little bit less than that. So I started watching all the Hamburger Helpers, and then I did character gen with folks, and really so we started. It took us 3 times to do session zeros. We did like 3 session zeros with
Yep.
people in smaller groups, and because it was a big game group, it was 8 people, and then started about a month and a half after I said I would need 6 months,
Yep.
and here I
Like you do. I
am.
mean, that's
Yeah,
yeah.
like you do. And here I am 2.5 years later, 2 campaigns, and an ongoing series of one shots that I run at a local convention that through the pandemic has been running virtually. We've got another episode of that coming up in the near future. Um, you know, Follow us, look at links on our various pages. We're definitely going to be promoting Drinking and Dragons. It's a Connecticut virtual game convention.
Yep.
The fact that it's virtual means everybody in the whole world can join. If you want a game. If you're a storyteller, get a hold of us. Let us
Yeah.
know. We'll get you in touch with the people there. If
Yep.
you've got a game you want to run, get in touch with us. The
Yeah.
more
Totally.
storytellers are there, the more players will go. There's
Yep.
frequently not enough storytellers or not enough types of games, and anything goes. You want to run Rifts, run Rifts.
Yep.
I did a Dead Rain game there one time. You want
Mm.
to run D&D, run D&D.
Yep.
You want to run a
I
tabletop
would love to run
vampire,
aliens again.
run
Like
it.
I'm telling you,
You
like
know,
I had so much fun
aliens.
with the alien setting. I'm definitely going to run
Hmm.
something in that setting again because
Oh yeah,
the mechanics are so good.
yeah.
It's so much fun.
Absolutely. You want to run Pathfinder? You want to run
Yep.
Starfinder? Get it. I've got plans for future events where I might be running some modern the spy game because I'm really big on James Bond. No Time to
Hmm.
Die. Go see it. These
Is it
are
good?
these.
Is it good? I haven't seen it yet.
I haven't seen it, but I'm going to. I have never not liked a James Bond movie. There's
Okay,
no way this is
that's
going to
fair.
be one of them. I just
Yeah,
know
yeah,
that
yeah.
going in. I can't wait to see it.
Cool.
But I love that type of action film, so I'm looking to do that, and that's that spy game. By the way, it's a bit of an older game, but it is based on the 5e mechanic system. So,
Uh,
some
well,
really
I mean,
neat stuff.
there are a bunch of different spy games out there. There's Gumshoe.
Mhm.
There's that's the one that's popping to mind. But I mean, there's a bunch based on like there are a bunch of PBTA builds that are spy based and stuff like that too. So,
Yeah,
yeah,
this one is specifically 5e, and the name of it is the Spy Game Cap.
cool. All right,
And the character classes look really good. The character subclasses look really interesting. The hacking rules are pretty neat. I love that kind of thing.
hmm,
And I'm really looking forward to dig into that game and play with that nice, clean, easy 5e mechanic, advantage, disadvantage, so on and so forth.
yeah,
And I think we'll have a lot of fun. I have a game world that I've been playing since the mid 80s and an
hmm,
ongoing story that I played it in supers. I played it
yep,
in all kinds of Palladium iterations. I played it in D20 Modern during most of the 2000s. So I'm really looking forward to use this mechanic so I can move forward and play it on that
cool,
5e base so that players will be familiar and it'll feel familiar, but we'll
nice,
still be able to do some of those nice little action sequences.
cool. So the one thing that we're not really going to dive into on the whole critical role front, because that's how that all started, was talking about the critical role and the new campaign module that's going to be coming out in March, their latest module. One thing that we're not going to dive into too deep is this whole I don't want to call it a controversy because I'm not sure that there's actually that much controversy regarding
Situation.
situation regarding their financials from Twitch being leaked. I want to keep my comments on that real brief. Good on them. Please show us that much disrespect that we can have that sort of income on our stream.
Hmm.
Really, good on them. They work really, really hard to put out a top-notch product, and I can tell you how difficult it is to put out a product that is nowhere near that production quality. And so I can only imagine how hard that is, and they deserve every dollar that they get. So
And probably a few more.
probably a few more, exactly. Yeah.
I will say this, and this is my send up for every content creator in the TTRPG space, in the D&D space, in the podcast space, and actually every single person out there on YouTube, on Discord, on Twitch, on anything. My friends over at Streams of Spiro and the Twitch channel FedSend. Uh, I will say this very cleanly: if you're working a side hustle that supplements your 9 to 5, and you can elevate it to the point where you no longer need the 9 to 5, that's the dream, my friend. That's the dream. And if you're doing it and you're a good person while you're at it, so be it.
Yep.
Your financials are your business. Let people know what you want them to know. But the reality is, nobody gets mad that CBS makes that kind of money or Paramount Plus makes that kind of money,
Right.
and they make a lot more.
Right.
That's just a fact.
Yep.
Get out there, do the things you love, make the money. And by all means, people out there in the world, if you're not in the content creating space, but you love the content, support your friends, support your family members. When your friend builds something, don't ask for a discount. Get it at the full price because they're putting their hard work into it and they deserve that. Buy local, support local. The podcasts that you see on this are largely a ton of really small local businesses that are trying to expand their reach in various ways. Support, buy, listen,
Subscribe,
digest.
support.
Sometimes hit the like buttons down below. My send up for Matt Coville. We are not personal friends. I've never met the man, but I would love to at someday say I got to meet him and we get along great. So I will say in the doobly doo with all reverence to Mr. Coville.
Yep. On to other things so you alluded to this earlier. There's a couple of big things that are on Kickstarter right now. And so there's one specifically that we were read into earlier today that made both of us super giddy. Anybody that does not know, let me start here. Anybody that does not know how Liwanika and I met, it was at a Mind's Eye Theater, probably second edition, Laws of the Night LARP, Vampire LARP. Actually, this was the multi-genre. This was Haven, the multi-genre LARP, right? Where Liwanika remembers meeting me, but I don't remember meeting him until I went to his game like 2 weeks later, and thus started this like friendship that's now old enough that it can drink, right?
Yeah. Multi-decade.
Right, yeah. So it is with tremendous excitement that By Night Studios has launched Mind's Eye Theater Vampire the Masquerade version 5, the latest LARP rules. They're on Kickstarter right now. Search for By Night Studios on Kickstarter. You'll find it. It's open and running. It's going to fund. It has already funded. It's got 23 days left to go. It's already going to fund. So if you want to get in on some delightful vampire LARPy goodness, dive in. It's gonna be fantastic. And in even other news that we didn't even know about until just now, because after I put in my pledge for Mind's Eye Theater 5, I got told, hey, you might also be interested in this. Friend of the show and former viewee Travis Legg from Onyx Path Publishing has a Kickstarter running right now for the apocalyptic record for Werewolf the Apocalypse, the 20th anniversary edition. So, which has about a week and a half left to go, is also going to fund. It did very well, and so I think we're gonna have to give Travis here a hard time that he didn't
reach out.
Yeah, I know. He did. You know,
I,
he did not hashtag college boys. Like, what's
yeah,
what's up with
yeah.
that? So.
Trav, man, come on. We got
We
mad
said it
love
with
for
so
you.
much love. Congratulations. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, absolutely.
Well
So
done,
glad
sir.
that this is
Well,
happening.
I
Yeah.
know you've been at it pretty hard.
Yeah.
The few very brief back and forths we've had
Yeah.
via Twitter message, it's been clear you've been pretty much hard at it over the last several weeks, months since our last
Totally. Yeah.
formal for the podcast
Yeah.
conversation.
Yeah.
We're still going to touch base. We're still going to figure out how to massage the second background, like we
Yeah.
talked about. But yeah,
Yeah.
find the time. Okay, that's what we're going to try to do. Great job to everybody involved in those things. Kickstarter, is that not an amazing thing? Like, I love Kickstarter. We've actually made it a bit of a focus to try to talk to those
figure out what to do with it. Yeah.
yeah, well, no, just talk to people who have Kickstarters for projects that we're excited about and get them involved in the show and work things out. You know, by the way, if you've got one, you like our show, you like what we do, you've seen our actual plays, hashtag call your boys TTJ. Yeah. I promise you, we love to role play. And if you want exciting people, we have great collaborations with other podcasts.
We will make space for you on the show to come and talk about how awesome your project is. Yeah. Whether or not you want to run a game for us or what, we will absolutely make interview space. You know, we did that with Awfully Queer Heroes when we had Cal on. I mean, that was an amazing interview with an amazing person talking about their amazing project. So I actually just got the Sun Pantheon books. I didn't even realize that there were two. It's two books at the end of it because Kel is that just cannot. Yeah, right. And Kel is somebody that just cannot stop. We talked about the hustle earlier. Kel is someone that just can't stop. And they already have their next Kickstarter, Tower of the Soul, up and running now. And we have plans to go ahead and bring Kel back in January for the next Kickstarter that they're going to be running in the new year. So be watching for that.
Yeah, and at least one of our members on our Facebook group actually gave me a heads up that he got his books as well, and so I saw him talking about his books as well. So and he's pretty excited. I play in that particular friend's game, which means I might get to use some of the feats and such, which I'm looking forward to.
Is this what I'm thinking about? He's putting out a book?
Friend of the show, Benito.
Old time Benito's putting a book out? Oh, okay.
No. He got Kel's book.
Awesome.
He backed her Kickstarter and was telling me, because I just got this. And I'm like, oh yeah, that's one from the show.
Yeah.
And I'm very excited that now I'm gonna not only have this book, I may actually be able to utilize some of the stuff in it for a game I'm already playing in as well.
It's good,
which I'm really looking forward to.
Yeah, I read through it. It's I'm gonna be a little in politic. Kel knows their shit. They really it was a fabulous book. I can't wait. I've already backed Tower of the Soul, and I mean it's kind of like, you know, every time Phil Stone puts out one of his illustrated School of Magic books, I don't care what it is. I don't care how much I will buy it, right? I feel the same way about Kel. When Kel puts out a Kickstarter, I will back it. And thankfully, there are 500 of the rest of us that make sure that these books actually come to print, and thankfully, get them the recognition that they're looking for, and so very, very, very highly deserve. So
I feel the same way about Ryan Wolf at 0 Point Studios. His Starfinder ships, stations, and landscapes. The maps that he puts out are so high quality. I keep buying them, and when we get back into the live space, I'll be rolling those out, and utilizing those maps. But the best part is, even while we're not, those are digital, and I can still put them up on my VTT. And short version, if you're doing a Kickstarter, you like how we do what we do, talk to us, because we're all in. We will make it happen for you.
Yeah, as we have said before, we love talking to awesome people doing awesome things. So please, the podcast is a conceit for us to go ahead and do that, to talk to awesome people, and get you all some publicity during your campaign. So please hit us up, find us on Twitter, find us on Facebook, mail a letter to Lou and Nika's house, something.
Yeah,
but
anything. Anything, TTJ South,
signal,
North, anything,
whatever.
Smoke signals, we'll take it. Ooh, which reminded me, speaking of the way we do things, I also wanted to give a shout out. You mentioned Mr. Dave, who's our very
Yeah.
first show sponsor. We should
Yep.
also add that he, in addition to his amazing channel and the
Yep.
great things he does, he also is a member of a band, and he has been recently working on an EP. And
Mhm.
one of the songs from this EP is actually being featured in our one of our first episode, our first full episode
The
of the
first full episode.
Aliens game.
First full episode? Yeah, it
Um,
must be the first full episode.
yeah,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
and specifically, I chose it for the character I play because that
Yep.
song is so amazing.
Le
Uh,
Roncham.
yeah, and I've had the pleasure of listening to two or three of the songs on that EP,
Yeah.
and I love them all. But that
Yep.
first one, oh my goodness,
Yep.
that's one I would drop some ducats to see at a concert hall. That's
Yep.
that's good stuff. Good stuff. So
Yep.
listen to the podcast, get to hear Mr. Dave's music outside of what he does on his show.
Yep.
By the way, listen to our show, listen to his episode on our show. Go
Yeah.
check out his show. If you've got little ones, if you've got intermediate ones, they're gonna love the show. I listen to his show, watch his show on YouTube quite frequently because it's good stuff.
Yep. Absolutely. Oh, all right, my friend. Congratulations again on 5,000 listens for 2021. We are cruising right in on our 2,000 Twitter follow. We're at 1,989 Twitter followers right now, trying to get that up to 2,000. We're right there, so close. And I know you keep an eye on the Facebook stats too. How are we doing over on Facebook?
We are on our Facebook group. We are at 221 followers on
Awesome.
the
Yeah.
public group for the Tabletop Journeys. And that is great. We have good discussions there. It's a great way to kind of keep an eye on what we're doing. We're going to start talking about, when we're going to break out these live sessions. It's an awesome place to be. We're also going to be working on improving our offerings on our Discord channel. And by all means, and actually, one of our patrons, Marty, has just actually chimed in to make sure we knew it was, in fact, Star Frontiers, because that's how good our community is. If you've got a question and you need an answer, our community jumps in. Thank you, Marty.
Thank you, Marty. Appreciate that.
Marty is also a regular player in
Yeah.
our AP content as well, Patreon AP content.
Yeah.
So
he was the one that shared the picture. I'm not sure if it was doctored or what, but it was a picture of William Shatner about to go up for the in the space flight with Blue Origin. I mean, he's wearing a yellow jumper, a la Captain Kirk, and everybody else on the fleet is wearing a red jumper. And everyone's like, "That ain't good." That ain't good.
That doesn't bode well.
That did not bode well for them.
At least there wasn't an Orion on the crew,
An
because we
Orion,
know what
exactly.
happens then.
We know what would be happening, exactly. So,
But so we love this community. We love what we've had the opportunity to do. We look forward to our future opportunities. Let's briefly, before we sign off, let's talk about what we got coming up for the rest of the year.
yeah,
We are going to be recording very soon our Questies award show.
looking forward to that.
We've got the votes in. We know who the winners are. We're going to be recording that and putting that show together. That's coming up very soon. We're going to be making an appearance at a convention in Maine. Coming up in November. We'll have those details, more of those details in there. That is a convention that's basically, not even basically, it's a charity event in remembrance of a very dear friend of ours, who passed over a year ago. And
Just a little over a year ago, yeah.
And he was very important to us.
2 years ago? It was 2 years ago.
But he was an avid gamer. He was a player in games that we attended, and he was such a presence in the main role playing, both LARP and otherwise, community. A big fan of all things Doctor Who, big fan of sci-fi. One of the most brilliant human beings I've ever had the pleasure of knowing. And honestly, if you were down, he was the kind of person that always had took the time to pick you up. So
Yeah.
we're going to be going to the Dr. James Con in November.
Yep.
We will be doing some live stuff there as well. And we will also be participating. The plan is to be running a table. I don't know exactly what I'll be running yet. I
Yep.
have had some suggestions. We'll see what I can get prepared to do, but I will definitely be running at least a game
Yep.
table at some point
Nice.
during that event. So you can
Nice.
count on that. We've got Drinking and Dragons. I know I am definitely booking for some time there. Josh is trying to make sure he can
Yep.
get some scheduling. Nothing final there, but we're hoping to have at least two of the three of us make an appearance
Yep.
this time. We did all three the last time,
Yep.
but we will be making our presence known.
Yep.
We hope to continue some more giveaways. We
Yep.
had the pleasure of, and we'll be announcing who the winner is here within a few days.
Yep.
The winner of our Wild by Witchlight book
Yep.
from our contest that we did about a week or so ago.
Yep.
That
Thank
was
you, Citadel Game
sponsored.
Seller.
Yep, sponsored by our local game store here in Groton, Connecticut, Citadel Game Seller. You guys are amazing. Thanks, Ken. Thanks, David.
Yeah,
Really
thanks, guys.
appreciate what you guys do and helping us do this. What else do we have coming up? Ooh,
Man, I mean,
our
so
end of the year bloopers, our
Oh.
holiday gift guide.
Yep. Holiday gift guide that will be recording real soon, in fact. So we'll go ahead and
Yep.
try to catch that right after Thanksgiving
Yep.
for you all. And we've got a ton of actual play content coming out right now. So we already talked about Aliens RPG coming out over Halloween weekend with Steve and with Mike and on their shows too. But we also have our Patreon actual play, a couple more sessions of that throughout the rest of the year. That's going to be airing for quite a while, given that. And then in November, we have a very special AP miniseries coming. We think November. It's going to depend on when their Kickstarter launches, but we think that it's launching in November. So we should expect to have that on the channel. We will have that on the channel when their Kickstarter launches. Let me just put it that way, right? So, it's going to be a real good time. So have faith.
Yeah, there's going to be good stuff, and quite honestly, we're just going to keep talking. There's going to be more character breakdowns, subclass breakdowns, class breakdowns.
Have we decided what our next one's going to be yet? It's going to be, was it Barbarian? Was that the next one?
Barbarian is going to be our next class breakdown. Yep. We're going to talk about the class as a whole, and then we're going to do a separate episode with the subclass ranking.
Yep. We really appreciate, actually, so on that point real quick, so there was some really great feedback from the folks that are listening to the show about how that's a better format for everybody. When we talked about the subclasses, sometimes we would just kind of roll in like class details and subclasses all into one episode, and it could get kind of jumbled and kind of frantic and everything. With Warlock in particular, we started separating out class features and subclass features, and feedback that we got from the audience was overwhelmingly positive that really worked for folks. So we're going to keep it up. In fact, we're going to go back to some of our earlier subclass episodes, and we're going to redo the class part of those episodes kind of as their own episodes. They're more easily found so that the subclasses kind of stand on their own. So thank you everybody for that.
Yeah, so audience feedback, keep it up. Keep up the comments. Our Facebook group is probably one of the best ways, but we opened up our Discord. That's another great way. We've got a number of great channels there. We're probably going to be opening up a question channel. And one of the big announcements that we want to do is we are definitely going to be doing a questions from the audience episode to close out the year. And our goal is to do at least 4 of those a year, probably more if we get enough questions. So if you have those questions, we're going to open up that channel on Discord, and then you can always just comment on Facebook. And when we get those questions, we'll tabulate them. If they're real quick, one sentence kind of answers, we'll answer them at the time. If they're deeper, we want to get into it on the episode, we'll do it. And if they're really good and we're going to do a whole episode on it, we're going to call out the person who gave us the question, and then we're going to make sure that we give that episode its full due.
In fact, we've got one of those coming up here real soon, actually, where we're going to be based on a question from the audience. We've got a whole series of things that are going to be going on. So, your feedback helps drive this show and helps make this show what it is. So, keep it up. So
definitely. Well, everyone, thank you so very much.
Yeah.
this has been a lot of fun. This is
Yeah.
our very first Tabletop Journeys live
We did
event.
it.
We did it. We locked it down. We got on YouTube's. On the YouTubes. On the YouTubes.
Oh, jeez.
We're on the YouTubes. No? No, not on the YouTubes. No,
Not on the YouTubes. Oh.
not on the YouTubes. No, how about this? We had a lot of fun. I love this.
Yeah.
This is the tail end of a great day. Thanks to the audience.
Yeah, absolutely.
Really appreciate it.
Well, thank you, my friend. Thank you, everybody out there listening. And as we say, we will talk to you again next time.
Until we meet again,